Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. As most of you already know, I'm the Lightup tutor and this is the Lightup Hub, the only channel you need for GCSE English. So today's video is gonna be one that I think will be so helpful for all of you, especially because letters, speeches, articles, I know from teaching a lot of you and of course you guys commenting, it's something you really struggle on. And I think it is actually really hard because it's not as specific as what they're asking for, like something like creative writing, and it could be on so many different things. So today's video is going to be 3 different things to avoid for your letter, speeches or article. If you do want help on how to get 40 out of 40 on the best way possible, I would honestly recommend using the Lightup Hub. And the Lightup Hub, we have, I think it's about an hour and a half worth of content on how to get 40 out of 40, sentence starters, vocab sheet, top tips, literally everything you could want on how to get 40 out of 40 is all on there. We've even got something called Rut Reads, My Fishes Quiz Constantly, which my Lightup Hub members, you'll know what I'm talking about, and Sweep, which are 2 acronyms that will literally help you ace your letter, speech or article. Okay, so let's get into the video. So get your pen, get relaxed, and let's start revising. So 3 things. Let's go over a bit of an overview of what we are going to cover today. Number 1, avoid being vague. Number 2, big paragraphs. Number 3, 1 or 2 points but agree or disagree. We'll go into what all of these mean. So number 1 is avoid being vague. Now, what I mean by avoid being vague is avoid being vague on who you are talking to, who your audience is. Now, this is one that most students completely neglect with a letter, speech or article, but it's an easy way to get the top marks. So, things that I want to make sure that you do not do. You're not specific on who you're talking to. You're generally speaking to a large group of people. You don't actually have an avatar in mind to who you're speaking about. What I mean by like an avatar is when you are writing your letter, speech or article, have a kind of person specific in your mind. Like, how old are they? What gender are they? What are their interests? What are their hobbies? Be as specific as possible, and that way when you write your letter, speech or article, you'll be really clear on who your audience is. Because if you don't have like an avatar in mind, you don't have a person in mind, you won't be able to be specific and speak specifically to them. Think about example, if I was speaking to you guys versus if I was speaking to your parents about GCSE English, how I would speak about it differently. To you guys, I'll give you like techniques, I'll give you structures, I'll give you grade 9 analysis. If I was talking to your parents about it, I wouldn't give them the same thing about GCSE English because they're not sitting their GCSEs. Maybe I'd give them tips about, how to help their child with GCSE English, some resources they should pay for their kids, like the Lightup Hub. But it'd be a very different way I would approach it. So you need to make sure that you're clear. So say, for example, the question is, school uniform should be banned. Write a speech for your school assembly expressing your point of view on this. Because it's for your school assembly, let's have a think about who is our avatar going to be. Are they going to be a parent? Is it going to be a student? Who is it going to be? You guessed it, it's going to be a student. So if I was going to paint out my avatar would be, it's a male or female student between 15 to 16 who is sitting their exam soon, and that's how specific I'd be about it. Because that means that when I'm talking about school uniform, I'm going to be referencing things that will directly impact that group of people. If I'm referencing for your school assembly, or let's say, for example, your year group assembly, think about your age group. Say you're 15 or 16, you're sitting your exams, then a lot of the people who you'll be talking to will be leaving too. So maybe it doesn't affect them that much if school uniform is banned or not, because soon they'll be in sixth form or college where they can wear their own clothes. It's kind of having that real focus on who you are talking about, who is your avatar, and making sure you're not too vague. So important. Number 2, the thing to avoid is big paragraphs. Now, this goes for any question 5, but particularly for letter, speech and article, a lot of students fall in the trap of writing big paragraphs. Their whole response is like 2 big paragraphs. Do not do this. Still, vary your paragraph lengths, vary your sentence lengths. You can have literally a 1-word paragraph or like a 1-sentence paragraph and then go on to the next. You want to break it up for effect. So say, for example, you're doing a rhetorical question. Let's think back to the school uniform thing. Let's say you were doing the school uniform thing and you are saying that school uniform should be banned and you're going to do a question about it. It might be like, do you really think that hindering a child's creativity is helping their learning? Question mark. And that could just be a paragraph by itself. That rhetorical question paragraph, just one whole paragraph by itself. So make sure you don't do big block paragraphs. Even if you're writing a letter, make sure you vary your paragraphs up for effect and to emphasize certain things. And number 3 thing to avoid is only giving me 1 or 2 points before I agree or disagree. When you are doing a letter, speech or article, and for your last question of the paper, your transactional writing, you want to give me multiple points and you want to weave in different ideas as to why you agree or disagree. Think about it in terms of stacking bricks on top of each other. If you just give me 1 or 2, you can't build a wall from 1 or 2 bricks. You need multiple bricks to build a wall. Just like you need multiple answers and reasons to build up your point of view. I don't just want, if you think that school uniforms should be banned, you're saying, oh, it's not good for creativity and students don't like it. If you're going to talk about that, make sure you expand and have multiple points of each one or have multiple different arguments. So say, for example, you might have, it stifles creativity. It doesn't allow people to be individuals. It actually stops students. It means that students can't express themselves. It's an infringement of da-da-da. Or you could say it wouldn't make a difference because in 6th form you're allowed to wear your own clothes, so why does it make a difference? So all of these different layers, you give more reasons or you expand on the reasons you've already given and give more bits of evidence. Remember, stacking bits of evidence, stacking your argument. So it's not just, oh, I agree or I disagree and give me 1 or 2 reasons. Try to weave in as many reasons as you can because that will really strengthen your point of view. Think about this as well. If you were trying to convince your mum and dad to buy you something, you wouldn't just give them 1 reason as to why it'd be good. Say, for example, you wanted the Lightup Hub. You wouldn't just say to your parents, oh, it's because it's going to be really good. If you really wanted it, you say, oh, loads of students have increased their grades by it. It's got loads of different content. It works out way cheaper than buying all the revision guides individually. We can buy it on a month-by-month basis. You give them loads of different reasons as to why you should get it rather than just 1 reason. Same goes for your letter, speech or article. So it's a bit of a summary, guys, to go over what we went in this video. Number 1 is to make sure that you are not vague on who your audience is. Make sure you have a clear avatar in mind. Who is it that you're speaking to? Who are you trying to convey this point to? And then you can tailor your points around that audience. Number 2, big paragraphs. Avoid big paragraphs, vary your paragraph lengths. Make sure that you kind of weave in short sentences, 1-word paragraphs, all of these different structural techniques to make sure that you're getting those structure marks. And number 3 is avoid just giving me 1 or 2 points of view. Try and stack multiple layers in your argument, or if you do only have 2 main points, have loads of other points going off those. That was a bit of an overview of things to avoid for your letter, speech, or article. If you like this, you're gonna love the Lightup Hub, so make sure you check out our free lessons in the description and subscribe as soon as you can so you can start making that progress. And just subscribe for 1 month and see how you get on, because I guarantee you'll get it for 1 month and you'll be blown away. Have a lovely rest of your day, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.